Can Ty control his powers and win the big game? And what do we think of Tandy's new gig as an escort? It's time to shed some light and darkness on the Cloak and Dagger After Show on AfterBuzz TV.
You're tuning into the destination for TV super fan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh yeah, this gets me in the mood for
I know,
Thursdays,
I feel like
y'all.
I'm in the state championships.
We're rooting.
Oh, guys, welcome back to the Cloak and Dagger After Show on AfterBuzz TV. We're going to be talking Cloak and Dagger, Season 1, Episode 5, Princeton Offense. I am joined by my lovely co-host. We got Karla to my left.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And we have Miss
Steph
Steph.
Sabraw. What's up, you guys? I had to finish your sentence.
No, it's totally fine. So I'm super excited to be back. Unfortunately, Drew isn't here with us, but we're sending her so much love. We wish you were here, but we got this, girl. We got this.
We miss you.
Now, before we begin, I gotta ask you the question of the week. All right, so what is your favorite Marvel sequel movie? You have one.
I do. I think it's gonna be Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Okay. Well.
Oh, you mean like movies that have multiple
Yeah.
installments?
Multiple movies?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I can go while you think.
Okay, I'll think.
Okay, I have two.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Man. And my favorite now, I feel like just because of the come up it's made, which we've talked about, Thor.
Oh
Like
my gosh.
just the three. The third is
Thor,
like
Ragnarok. Oh, I think that's actually mine.
I
I
probably
think
took
mine
that
is
from-
probably going to be the Avengers movies.
Okay.
That's kind of
There's,
cheating.
it's hard. It's hard because they're all in it, guys.
But it's because like you can't choose one. Like for me, if it was like Marvel, like I kind of like everybody. If I'm in like the DC world, it's like Gotham and like Batman all the way. So for this
well-
one, I'm like I love everybody.
I don't blame you because Wanda Maximoff is my guilty pleasure, and she's only in Avengers and Captain America: Civil War. But anyways, guys, if you're tuning in live, thank you so much. Please join us in the chat. Steph and Karla are eyeing y'all, so ask us questions. Feel free to join into the discussion. So we're gonna be doing our character breakdowns of Tandy, Tyrone. We're gonna be talking about Bridget O'Reilly. We're gonna do our special segment, Character Corner. We're going to talk about our giveaway. You've got to stay tuned to the end to, get the deets on that. And we have some special news from Miss Steph as well, as always. So, okay, we're on the episode 5. We're kind of at the middle of it. So
Already? It's
yeah.
going so quick.
I feel like it just started. So what are your guys' initial thoughts on episode 5?
I really enjoyed seeing Tandy using her powers in this episode, and I like that we're trying to kind of figure out how Tyrone has to use his. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was so cool, and to see the side effect that her using her power actually affects him as well. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was so cool.
I loved it. I think it continues to be so strong in its writing and production and the acting. One thing that I do actually love about it more is that I have even more questions. Like there's so many things I need to know, and it's getting pieced together slowly, and I can't wait. And I see in the chat, I asked everyone what they thought, and they're like, this is the best episode yet. So they loved it too.
It just keeps getting better and better. Like last episode dealt with so much about the privilege and how Tandy doesn't understand the privilege of Tyrone, or not the privilege, but what he has to go through as a black man in the South. And she'll never understand what he has to go through. And so it just keeps getting better with all of these themes and just like, I want to see a fight scene, okay? But I love what you said, Karla, about how Tandy, she can kind of control her powers at this point. Whereas Tyrone, he's struggling. And I like seeing our two leads kind of have those different, they're on such a juxtaposition for sure. So we got to talk about our girl Tandy as our first topic, okay? Because Tandy, that's my girl. Okay, y'all, I don't
Are
know.
you Cloak and Dagger today?
Oh, yeah, I'm
my
a mixture.
goodness.
I'm team both right now. Usually I'm Cloak, but
Oh, man.
I'm feeling the Dagger.
Well, you're beating me. We got Dagger and
I
we got
actually
Cloak.
wore the white on purpose for the
Oh!
Guys, all right, if you guys are listening to us, we got Dagger, Karla, and Steph. She is Cloak, so... and I'm nothing. But anyway.
You're in pink. What else is better?
What else? So what do you guys think about Tandy kind of getting into this like escort kind of sugar baby kind of ordeal? Because it's like I trust Tandy
Yes.
and everything. She's a strong female character for sure, absolutely. She's proved that. but it's also kind of scary. You know?
I think she's willing to go all the way in order to get whatever she needs to find. And I kind of look up to her for doing that because it's scary to kind of sign up for this website where I think it's like a sugar baby.
Oh, yeah. Urban Dictionary, you guys, if you don't know what sugar baby is, it's a young female or male who is financially pampered, cared for by a sugar daddy. So basically, she used a site that would set her up with someone who wants to have a sugar baby.
Yeah.
You know, creepers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we, not to cut you off, but we kind of figure out she's doing this because the guys that she's finding, these are the guys who are on the site who kind of like link
the
up.
Roxanne party.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
a Roxanne party. But also, she found out about this through social media, which is crazy because honestly, nowadays you could be you can become an FBI detective just thanks to social media, which is literally what she did. She found pictures of the profiles of the people who she's doing research in, and saw the tagged photo of this girl. This girl uses this hashtag of I think it's Nola Lady or something like that, and she goes all the way to find out what it is, signs up, shows up, and she's not going to do anything bad. And I think she knows how to defend herself at this point because she's like, I have control of my powers. If I need to take out a dagger, I will. And I'm pretty sure she's not going to be afraid to like use it. So in the beginning, it does kind of throw you off, but I'm really glad that she did it, that she's willing to actually go forward and find out what happened to her dad.
Absolutely.
I think she's getting very risky. Like, I mean, the whole episode, she was like pushing Tyrone off to test his powers. I mean, she is smart, so she knows. I think she does know her limits, but she's definitely testing them. And it's funny that you said with the internet, you can be like your own detective. On the drive here, before I saw the episode, I was thinking maybe the internet was created so like we have backlog blackmail of literally every human on earth. Like, it keeps people in check, and especially like people like this, like she was able to find them. So I love her little Nancy Drew.
I saw those hashtags. There was a hashtag sugar daddy. Like, she was now that Greg is kind of killed off at this point.
Kind of.
She has to really take the lead and be like, okay, I'm going to do this myself no matter what. And what are your thoughts on kind of this question of using your powers to steal? Because she was talking to Tyrone, and Tyrone was kind of talking her out of it. And, you know, her defense was that she's doing this because so much was taken from her. So do you think it's okay that she is kind of stealing in a sense to get back and find out this information?
I think my question is, what is she really stealing?
True. Good point.
I totally think it's okay. I don't think she's like actually really being weird and intrusive. I mean, she sees someone's hope. So it's not, I mean, I don't think most people would feel that offended. I guess there is some sort of privacy issue, obviously, but she has to find out. I mean, her whole, like she said, her whole life, things have been taken from her family name, her money, her dad. She needs answers. She's going to get them.
We need the answers, that's for sure. We saw that montage of her in like the kind of banquet place, and she was touching up on all these guys, not you know, very, very tastefully done. And she saw their hopes, and some of them were a little risque. We saw the butler go down on someone. It was intense.
Oh, yes. That was
but
intense.
that was one of my favorite scenes in the episode for sure.
And then seeing his hopes at the end, the main guy, and it's as creepy as you could possibly think. Like, he just kills whoever he needs to keep his money, his secrets, his power.
Yeah, my heart started beating when she pulled out the dagger, and I was like, don't do it, Tandy. We need him alive. We need those answers. What were you going to say, Karla?
I was going to say, is he a butler? I thought he was like one of the big guys up there, but everybody was just seeing him do other things for them.
Oh.
He's probably one of the younger associates, I would assume.
Okay.
I don't know what he was.
Maybe that's
I was
your...
like wondering.
That's what I just thought. He was, he was the butler in that position, that's for sure. He was taking care of some business. So is there any more thoughts on Tandy in this episode that you guys thought? Any questions you have? Anything from the chat?
People are loving her right now. They love
Olivia
her.
Holt?
Yeah,
she's awesome.
She's just figuring things out. And I like how both the women, Detective O'Reilly and her, both have this, they're just going to do it, whatever it means. And they're kind of hustlers.
Yeah.
Like how... It was funny because Greg said con man isn't that kind of sexist. There can be con women. It's like, they are.
Absolutely. And I loved how she actually, like, we're waiting for them to suit up, and and I love that Tandy kind of suited up in this episode, but as a schoolgirl, she stole, like, one of Tyrone's classmates' schoolgirl uniforms to go to, like, the casting for the sugar baby thing. So I was like, okay, that was a tease for her suiting up. But anyways, Steph, do you have something to tell the good people?
Yes.
Yeah.
All you 90s babies and because this affects everyone. There's an all new Double Dare. The trivia is tough. The challenges are rough. And the giant nose is stuffed. I don't know if you guys remember this, but that is where the green infamous Nickelodeon slime comes down. You don't want to miss a second of the show. It's hosted by Liza Koshy and Double Dare legend Mark Summers. And they're bringing you the messiest game show on TV. New Double Dare weeknights at 8/7 Central, only on Nickelodeon. I can't wait to see this. I feel like it's gonna be childhood
So awesome.
rebirth.
A blast of nostalgia for sure. Like, I was watching Hey Arnold the other night, and I'm like, I need some more Nick early 90s in my life.
TV
Yes.
shows, yeah, definitely.
Totally. Well, thanks for letting the good people
Of
know.
course.
We got to talk about Tyrone now, because I feel like Tandy had, like, a good arc in this episode, but I think this was definitely Tyrone's episode for sure. So I feel like he's still trying to live up to, living up to his brother, and I think he has a lot of pressure on him because he has to win the big game. And what are your thoughts on his kind of arc in this episode? Because it was a lot to process for sure.
Well, first of all, I wanted to touch on the fact that a little bit starting out with his powers. So I think it's really intense how he, like, still doesn't have any power, like, control over his powers. But we do see how, like what I said previously, that Tandy does have an effect on him, whatever she's doing. But I kind of also was seeing that, I think, because we're all trying to figure out, like, how do his powers work. And I think it's like whenever he's thinking about somebody, is like how. Like when he shows up, so like when he's thinking about O'Connor, he ends up showing up right where O'Connor is. He was thinking about the brother's friend, and he ended up being there and saw him, and then Tandy, and like so on and so forth. So I feel like it's kind of controlled by his thoughts where he travels to. And then the other thing was, like, the friend's brother. I'm blanking on his name.
Dwayne?
Yes, the friend, right?
Yes.
So Dwayne, like, also that's like a whole storyline in and of itself, and how he's a partner and him being able to figure this out.
Yeah.
The one thing.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
That
Yes. Let's give Karla some kudos.
Absolutely.
Thought about you
Tell
guys.
us if you think this.
I realized that he's able to see everybody's fears except for Avita.
Yes.
Avita.
Yes.
Yes. And I'm like, wait a second. Why can't he see her fears?
Yeah, you think we would have...
Who is Avita? Is like
Yeah.
the main question now.
And they got intimate. So you mean to tell me he's going to brush all these players on the court, see every single body's fears,
Yeah.
and then he's going to get up on Avita and not see something?
Exactly.
We would have, there's something up with that for sure. And
Definitely.
Karla, you get so much credit for that, because I wasn't
We were
even
shook.
thinking it. And I was like, my mind is blown. Like, we would have gotten something out of that sex scene. And the sex scene wasn't shown, obviously, but, like, you think we would have gotten
at least something when she hugged him and she was like, oh, I know you. And then
And she kept saying, I've been watching you. I've been telling you. So it's not like she's being that secret about it. She got her involved with her aunt. And we see that in the preview for next episode. I don't know if you guys saw that. She's going to be back in it, which we were wondering if she was. And so things are, we don't know. I do like Avita and I do like them together, but something seems fishy. But in terms of Tyrone's whole arc of this episode, I loved it. I will say I see people in the chat thinking the same thing as me. We wish he won the basketball game.
Yeah.
We wish he made that
We
shot,
do.
but we know he was just being like a good guy. He was trying to be that vigilante, I feel like we know from the comics a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah. So do you guys ship him and Avita, or no?
I'm not prepared for that.
I know that's a hard question to answer.
I think I can't ship them yet because I don't know what Avita's like what she really wants.
Yeah. Does
From
she
him.
have some kind of, like, power, or... Because we know she knows a lot about voodoo. She was
Yeah.
the voodoo tour guide, and she
Is
introduced
she the
it.
one that made the doll? Is
Yeah.
she, you know?
like, it's so, I'm starting to think that she's not so innocent. And I know we're getting into predictions, but I remember previously I predicted that she was kind of like, she was going to like get killed off at some point. But I'm thinking there's something, she has something up her sleeve for sure.
Yeah.
Nicholas Kelly from the chat said maybe Auntie Clarice put a protected spell over her.
That would make sense.
Because we think that she does obviously know something about CLOAK that we haven't figured out yet. But I love how they're both figuring out their powers. Even though his was a little bit more unwilling than her, they're getting stronger every episode.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see the progression with that.
Yeah, I'm just surprised that Tyrone has yet to pick up on the fact that he hasn't. Like, you think he would kind of question, like, why am I not seeing your fears?
Yeah.
You know, so maybe he's just smitten by Avita. I don't know.
That's a love potion. You can't beat that.
Well, I think I think Tandy taught him a good lesson this episode of you need to learn your powers. You have to kind of face like your fear, face that danger. And she even pushed him off
that was
the balcony.
My favorite scene in this whole episode. I literally was just like, and you knew that she was going to, because she's like starts talking to him and then she's like, wait, let me just push you off.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, it failed. But then we see him go back into like the big game because this is important. He needs to win. Or at least I wanted him to win. Shout out to everyone who agrees with me. I really wanted him to win.
Billy wanted him to win, so of course we wanted him to win. But a part of me is really happy that like you could just see that he has a pure heart, even though he's able to see people's fears and stuff. It's just like.
And I also think that it would have been a little bit too like cookie cutter, too much of a happy ending if he did win. I think it's more realistic that he lost.
But
so
nothing really great has happened to Tyrone yet. You know,
except that sex scene.
Yeah, that's true. But I feel like Tandy in this episode made some breakthroughs, and he hasn't really. I mean, I guess I like that. I guess it's a stronger plot point that they're not always going to be in sync, but I feel like my man needs a win.
Yeah, because his powers are going haywire. He's teleporting all over the place, and it's also coming from Tandy. Like, they can't control it. Like, they're on opposite sides of town, and it's going haywire. He's teleporting. He's seeing people's fears. Like, he's like, it's just like a mess, and it's horrible for him. So I do feel bad for him in that aspect for sure.
But, I mean, he did make some moves forward with O'Reilly, I think. He gave some really good information to O'Reilly that O'Reilly was able to move a little bit forward into maybe opening up a case about O'Connor.
Yeah, it's good that they're kind of working together. They're not pushing each other back. So I'm glad to see them kind of working together. We got a little bit of progression. So do you want to talk a little bit about Bridget O'Reilly? Because
let's talk about the other characters, the little minor characters.
Because they were spread out, and we also get introduced by Mina Hess.
Me like Mina.
You do?
Why do you like Mina?
I like Mina. I think that, she's in it. Well, it seems to be that she's in it for the science. The research that I've done that gives kind of, I guess, giveaways in it shows the episode for next week, and it seems that she's going to be Tandy's part. Like, they had the same common goal. I think things were taken from Mina as well, from Roxanne, and she's getting to it through a different angle, through the science.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
I think.
I didn't see that. I thought I saw her as, like, part of the enemy, but I guess we're about to find out.
I kind of saw that, too. I
kind of like, when she showed up and she was, like, watching her, like, I didn't really see, like, oh, she's going to help me.
Or maybe I know we're getting into predictions, y'all, but I'm just too excited. I'm thinking maybe they kind of start as, like, allies, but maybe Mina might betray Tandy. I don't know. It was just weird how the episode kind of ended on that, kind of like not a cliffhanger, but you know how they.
Yeah,
they're just
it's good. We both think we all think different things. We'll see who wins.
We'll see about Miss Mina, because I don't believe Mina is like Mina Hess, at least, is an actual Marvel character. I'm not familiar with if she is. Correct me if I'm wrong. But another scene that I really liked in this episode was when Tandy saw the hopes of Peter Scarborough, and how he was like rummaging through like the beach, and he was getting a bunch of cash, and I thought that was very symbolic, because he was like, there was dead bodies coming to the surface, and I really like the symbolism in that, because he was kind of like benefiting from like so much destruction and death from Roxanne, you know. So that was another standout scene. Are there any other scenes that you really liked in this episode?
What other scene?
I did have a question. Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought that the body that she had taken out of the water during that scene that you talked about was Mina's father.
Oh,
It
I'll have
is.
to check.
It's Ivan Hess.
That's what I'm saying. So they both had these things taken
oh
from
my
them.
gosh, yes.
So
How did I not connect
Team
that?
Oh my gosh, breakthroughs.
Team Mina.
I'm not willing to trust Mina yet. So. What does the chat think about Mina?
They haven't said anything yet
Alright.
about Mina. They're mostly talking about O'Reilly. That
Well-
we did. Ivan Soto in the chat said that if you look closely in Luke Cage season 2, that there is Bridget O'Reilly's brought up.
Yes, I forget who. Sorry, I forgot who shouted us out on Twitter. It totally said that it's the same
I'll look
exact
that
thing.
up. Yes, I saw that.
And that was Luke Cage season 2. I need to get on that. I need to get on that for sure. Guys, check out the Luke Cage season 2 after show on AfterBuzz TV. Check out all our Marvel TV shows and make sure you subscribe.
Christian
okay?
Jackson.
Christian Jackson.
Christian Jackson, thank you for tweeting us that as well. You rock.
Those little like Easter eggs just make me so excited that how everything's kind of connected. I know we never see them like kind of cross paths
Yeah.
physically, but it's cool that everything's kind of connected and just gives us little like teases here and there. I love it. I live for it.
I think it's so exciting. And Nas from the chat is saying that he thinks that Mina's going to betray Tandy.
I agree.
Okay, Naz.
I agree. But before we move on, so what were your thoughts? Because this was a huge revelation about Dwayne being a part. I don't know. We kind of brought it up a little bit. Were you guys shocked? Because I was shocked.
I thought something was up. I thought that it kind of seemed like, I don't know, the signals Tyrone gave me when he looked at his watch, but then it kind of made me feel better that he was like, no, it's because I'm successful in all of this. But it seemed still kind of a little bit like the chapter wasn't closed.
Yeah.
So it made sense that it would ties in. But what I was mentioning about the questions I have, this has to do with it. I have questions about how much in advance did he know and how much in advance did the killing of Tandy's father. Like, how were they? He says he knows, like, you since the day you killed my boy. So did he find that out after or before? Because he wasn't on the scene when he killed him. Mm-hmm. And was that a setup?
Yeah.
Was there a point to
Oh,
it?
wow.
That's, oh my gosh.
These are the questions.
And why? Why? Unless he's somehow benefiting through financial reasons.
I think that's just all financial reasons.
Yeah.
Or he could also be thinking like, well, this is the way that I'm going to get some Jews from him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think it was originally Billy was supposed to steal, but it ended up being Tyrone.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh my gosh, I'm thinking that he was in on it the whole time, for sure. Absolutely. But we're going to find out next episode, okay? So we're going to move on to our special segment, Character Corner, where we kind of delve into a special comic character from Cloak and Dagger. A character that what stood out to me, wasn't a huge character in this episode, was Gideon Green. And I'm not that familiar with this particular character, but I just was like, Gideon Green. Okay, I'm going to Google that. And it turns out this is actually kind of an obscure Marvel character. And he is an external, and he was virtually immortal, and he has the power to absorb other powers. And he formed several alliances throughout his reign, and he had his own Oprah Industries. And I'm wondering if he's actually going to play a part in this, because he was a very minor character, and I wonder if anyone kind of is wondering if like he's going to actually come back in the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he fought the New Warriors and the New Mutants. And he was eventually killed by Selene, who's like this badass vampiric. She's kind of like this, one of the oldest thought mutants. So it's interesting that he was in this, in Cloak and Dagger, even though he's not really like tied in the comics to Cloak and Dagger.
Okay.
So that's just something that stood out to me. And I wonder if anyone else is familiar with Gideon Green. If anyone is familiar with this character, please let us know. If you're tuning in live, if you're just listening to us or watching us later, let us know and just comment, ask us questions. We love talking to y'all.
Yes.
So we got to move on to some news and gossip.
Yeah.
Woo! Steph, bring us the good news, please.
Okay, there's
AfterBuzz TV News.
There's great news, you guys. If you guys follow the San Diego Comic-Con notifications, which you should, it was announced officially that Cloak and Dagger would be one of the headlining Marvel TV shows that would be there. Ollie, Drew, and I will be at Comic-Con, so we we'll try our best to
Yes.
get that covered for you guys. We are so excited.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna squeeze all three of us in there somehow, some way.
Yes.
We're gonna do it.
We're gonna get the deets.
We're gonna bring them to the studio. I'm not gonna kidnap them, but we're gonna teleport them. Okay.
We'll take the
Absolutely.
cloak.
That is so exciting.
Yes.
I knew Cloak and Dagger had to have a panel for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really great news that I feel like that means that it's growing traction. We haven't had the announcement about season 2, but that's looking good. That
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
It's hands down. It's gonna do it. Like
Bag it.
for sure. But Marvel, it's good that Marvel's kind of has like a lot to show this year for
Yeah.
sure. And I'm hoping there's a Runaways panel. I don't know if have you guys watched Runaways
Yes.
yet?
No, I haven't finished it, but I agree. I hope. I know that Marvel's not doing the H Hall, I believe, which usually covers the movies because they've had so many movies released.
Yeah.
We won't get any like inside scoop because there's so much.
Yeah.
So there will be a heavy focus on the Marvel shows.
Yeah, which is
That's
really
awesome.
exciting because there's so much good Marvel shows.
Yes.
Ugh. And I think Runaways is actually, this is kind of a little bit of news. I think Runaways is actually filming. It started filming season 2. Correct me if I'm wrong because I follow some of the cast and they're filming together. So I'm just like, I don't know. I haven't read that much.
Ooh.
But let me know. Let a boy know for sure because I love me my Runaways and I want that Runaways and Cloak and Dagger crossover for sure. All right. Any more news?
No, that's it for the news and gossip.
Okay, thank you so much for that news. We love it. So, guys, we really appreciate you guys tuning in every single week, and we're going to do a special giveaway for Cloak and Dagger After Show. So, if you want to win this, the first ever Cloak and Dagger mini-series, 1 through 4, if you want to win this, you got to do something for us. You got to give us a 5-star review on iTunes, or if you're an Android user, give us that 5-star in the comments on YouTube. Give us that 5-star, and at the season finale, we're going to draw from a hat live a winner. Just give us that 5-star review. We would love it. We would appreciate it. And you'll win this. We will send this to you. Just got to send us your address, and we'll send you this. And we might have some special guests this season on the after show. So they might actually sign this. So give us that 5-star review. We love you guys.
Yes.
This is the first ever. This is like the real deal.
I
If you want to
want
get
that.
to if you want to get to know Cloak and Dagger, Tandy and Tyrone, you need to pick this up for sure.
Speaking about fans, can I give us some shout outs?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, like Ollie was saying, we love you guys in the chat. We love the comments. We love the tweets. We love talking about Cloak and Dagger with you guys because the conversation doesn't have to stop after this show. So Nicholas Kelly, you rock. Ivan Soto in the chat. Silver Watcher 30. Nas, ZSB Lou, Chris Mo, Billie Jean Girl, Tosh C. You guys rock. D Monets, love that name. There are so many of you guys, and we love you all. Thank you guys so much for watching with us. Haywood Wong, you guys rock.
Aw,
Thanks.
thank you guys so much. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's so fun. I'm like, what do they have to say today?
Yes. So I think we should kind of get into predictions. I know we did this already, kind of, but we need to delve more.
And
Here we
now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right. Who wants to go first? Karla, Steph.
Okay, I'll go first.
Steph can steal
Okay.
Get it,
first.
Steph. Get it, Steph.
I think Bridget O'Reilly is going to continue with her investigation, but things are going to get shaky for her. I think that's where we're going to get the fight scene that you're thinking. Like, something's going to go down in that realm. I think that we will find out more of Auntie's kind of intentions.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we will get Cloak and Dagger powers to the next level.
In next episode?
Yes.
I like that.
Crashing against walls. Something will happen good.
All right.
Are they eventually able to touch themselves? Like,
Oh, totally.
like
Next
have physical
episode.
contact?
Next episode.
I have a feeling that Tyrone is going to start learning how to control his powers. I still kind of don't know where I stand with Avita and her aunt, but I have a feeling that maybe Avita might be able to warn him about something that may be coming. But clearly something bad is coming and they need to prepare for it. So I'm really excited to kind of see them get a hold of their powers and be able to kind of come together as one. Because without cloak, there can be a dagger, and without a dagger, there can be a cloak.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see how that's going to play out in like the next episode.
Yeah. I was like kind of fearful for last episode 4, because they kind of split up here and there, and I'm like, oh great, okay, well they're not going to be, teaming up anytime soon,
Yeah.
but they're back on better terms for sure. So I think they're kind of going to continue being on better terms, because they have to help each other learn,
Yeah.
Tandy definitely has to keep Tyrone in check with his powers, absolutely. So, but I think they're going to help each other kind of from far away.
And this is probably a super like large prediction, but I honestly feel that Dagger is going to be able to tell him like, hey, you know what, this is everything that I found out, and he is going to be like, okay, well now let me find out what their fears are. And I don't know if it's possible for them to be able to like maybe grab each other's hands and then he takes her with her to see the fears, and that way she could also see. Maybe that's not even a thing, but I have a feeling that Cloak is going to be able to help her out to figure out the fears of these same men.
Oh,
Two
nice.
things from the chat in terms of predictions with Bridget O'Reilly, which I love. Nicholas Kelly has an idea that somehow she's gonna get like caught with drugs in her system, get in a fight with detective, get shot or whatever, and then somehow that will form mayhem.
Yes.
And who Nas in the chat said, I think Mina might find out Tandy has powers, start experimenting on her to replicate her powers. She might also give O'Reilly powers too. So I mean, there's multiple predictions. You guys tell us
I
what you
love it.
think, because we are still hoping Detective O'Reilly will for sure become mayhem.
Yeah, by the end of the season, even if they tease it a little bit, I think that was kind of like foreshadowing when we saw her kind of inhale the cocaine, right?
Yeah.
I was wondering if like maybe she's gonna inhale something that's not cocaine, something that is gonna grant her those powers.
Ooh.
And I'm wondering if Avita and Mina, I combine the names. I wonder if they're kind of like another Marvel character, like with they're being shaded by those names. Like they might be actual Marvel characters, but their names are kind of like those aren't their
Incognito
actual.
right
Yeah,
now.
absolutely. So that's what I'm wondering, and I think Mina might be an actual Marvel character. I just don't know who she would be. But if you guys are tuning in live, let us know your predictions. If you're not tuning in live, still let us know your predictions. I don't even know anymore, because that preview for next episode looks so juicy. It looks
I'm
so
so
good.
excited for next week's episode. It looks like,
Same.
I mean, I don't know, the whole thing about knowing what's going to come, that's kind of what a trailer is, but also like seeing it through the aunt who does the voodoo and stuff is going to be so interesting. It seems like it's going to be a lot of action and future predictions.
Yeah,
So.
because I really want to get more into the supernatural side.
Yeah.
'Cause we're in New Orleans. We got that voodoo concept. We're getting deep into it, and I'm really
We're
loving
ready
that.
to be cultured all the way.
Yes. We got to know who that big bad is. We got to know there's too many suspects. I don't even
We
know
don't trust
anymore.
anyone.
Is there any more thoughts you want to give away before we say goodbye?
I think I said everything I wanted.
All right.
I'm just so excited for next
I know.
episode.
I'm just speechless at this point for sure. Unfortunately, we're running out of time. We got to wrap up. So, this is the worst part of the. All right, I'm gonna hold back my tears. Hold back my tears. Give us your plug yourself. Sorry, I'm trying to hold myself together.
Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I'm your host, Karla Beltran. You can follow me on Instagram at I am Karla Beltran, or on Twitter at Karla Beltran with an R at the end.
I'm Steph Sabraw. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Steph Sabraw. And just remember to keep tweeting at us, talk to us. We want to hear it.
Yes, guys, and I'm Ollie Drennan. Follow me on all social media platforms at Ollie Dreamer. Subscribe to us. Subscribe to all of our channels, especially the superhero sci-fi one, because that's where all our Marvel shows are on. So please do it. Thank you guys so much again. We'll be back
From
next week.
executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.